Hey there, mama friend, and welcome to the 5-Minute Mom podcast, where we'll talk about real life, real faith, real fast. For today's show notes or to get free Monday Mom devotionals, visit audrahaney.com. Well, hey friends, welcome back to the podcast. Today we are going to meditate on the spiritual discipline of serving. And it kind of makes me laugh because when I look at moms, do we ever really stop serving? So I'm not really sure that the discipline is found in choosing acts of service. However, I do think we have to discipline ourselves to serve with the right heart motivation. I think of this story of Mary and Martha, and it's the perfect example of this. I often wonder if the correction for Martha wasn't that she was in the kitchen, but the fact that she was serving with the wrong motivations. I mean, the people did have to eat, but perhaps her dinner party could have been done with a worshipful attitude and a pause to sit at Jesus's feet as well. I've been sharing 3 thoughts on each discipline for this series, but today I'm going to mix it up a little bit and help you search your own heart motivations. So here are some of the questions. Are we serving out of a heart of gratitude, humility, and love for what Christ has done for us, or out of obligation? One posture will lead to worship and one will lead to burnout. Does our service have to be seen to count, or are we okay with unseen service? Do we remember that the greatest ministry is done off of a stage? Is there any service Christ could ask of us that is too small or too big? Are you overcommitted with service projects that God has not called you to? Or are you serving intentionally from a place of obedience? Are we finding our identity in our gifts, our natural abilities, and our roles? Or are we finding our identity in Christ? Are we serving with pride, laziness, or dread? Or are we serving the Lord with gladness? And here's just 3 practical ways we can implement serving into our everyday life and our family life. I think the first and most powerful thing we can do is just stop and pay attention to the people around us that are already in our life. I think the best way to meet a need is just to stop and say, what's the most practical, simple thing I can do to meet that need right now? And secondly, what's your holy discontent? You'll usually find a great place to serve when you reflect on areas that bring you great joy or great sadness. Don't discount what you have to bring to the table. God wired us uniquely for the body, so pay attention to what makes you tick. We have to be willing to serve anywhere, but your passions are probably good signposts to a starting place. And third, remember there are seasons. If you're a busy mom, serving in your home is a priority right now and a season that won't last forever. Ask God for wisdom on how, when, where, what capacity you have to serve outside the home for now. It may not mean a lot of time, but maybe it's your resources, your encouragement, or your ideas. Make sure you ask yourself the previous questions when it comes to serving within your home as well as outside your home. Here's 3 quick resources to help you grow in the spiritual discipline of serving. Our family loves the Shape Assessment and the Strength Finder book. It's a great place to help you start exploring your spiritual gifts and the way you're wired for service. Secondly, the book Learning to Lead Like Jesus by Boyd Bailey. And third, Raising Charitable Children by Carol E. Wiseman. It's not necessarily a faith-based book, but there are so many good practical ideas in there to help your children join you in acts of service. And finally, I'll just leave you with Galatians 5:13, which says, "For you were called to freedom, brothers and sisters. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love, serving one another." So that's the end of our 5 minutes. Please tune in again soon. If you want to learn more about me or sign up for the podcast newsletter or get a free devotional, visit audrahaney.com. And if you enjoyed this, would you please leave a quick review? Reviews are so important for podcasters, and it helps more moms find us, and it would be a great blessing.